So here we are again, underground, as we like to be. Always. And it's a nice sunny day out there, so as usual we'd rather be underground in the cooler air of this large extensive stone mine. This extensive stone mine is the most extensive, the most quarried out underground in any mine in the north of England. And this is located in Lancashire. We're not going to say anymore. And the interesting fact here is that back in the 80s, 3 young lads came in to explore the extensive network of crisscross tunnels of this underground quarry with just a candle, a lighter and a small torch. No need to say that they didn't have any map. At the time there was nothing like resembling a map or a sketch of this place, and they got totally lost. The alarm was raised 24 hours by family, and a big police rescue operation came down here to find the missing lads. They had to draw their own sketch in different teams so they wouldn't get lost themselves while trying to find the young men. Eventually they did find them. They were in the one of the far corners of this extensive mine on the ground, and they were even burning the lining of their own pockets in a desperate attempt to get some light and keep warm. It's no surprise, and you can just imagine how miserable their mental condition must have been, having been over 24 hours and losing hope of any rescue or finding any exit. This underground quarry was worked for the actual stone, the actual sandstone, which is around 200 million years old. It made good use for the building of the local towns, mills, churches, paved the streets. So it was in high demand in the 1800s with all the mills, mostly cotton mills that they were built, and all the houses to house all the mill workers. So you can see just the beginning. We're on a straight line. I'm lighting there. Richie is quite a long way on there. So obviously we don't want to repeat the story and getting ourselves lost in here, so we got a compass. We got the actual original sketch that was drawn by the cave rescue or the police operation that came down here to find the boys. So we're gonna try to find and identify some of their own markers that they left, and we're gonna be very careful not to get lost ourselves. So make sure you follow my channel and Richie Wellock's. And right, I'll see you in a bit. Right, Richie, follow the string.
Okay. You think at the end of this string there's pot of gold?
Yeah, pot of gold at the end of the string. Yeah, follow the string. It's always a good way to go.
Funny if they had some like pot noodle with us, and right at the end we put hide a pot noodle. Someone would go, yay!
So no need to say, because of the confusing nature of this mine and the maze like tunnels, previous explorers actually left some string. I'll tell you one anecdote here, Richie. The first time I ever came to explore this mine with a friend who never done mine exploration, we were actually holding tight to this blue string because we were thinking, oh my god, we're gonna let go, we're gonna get lost. It was horrific.
We've got actually some sandstone with that iron colour all around us, but there's a really nice example of the actual sandstone with all the iron which comes through and just gives it a really nice colour.
Yeah, this sandstone, it could probably be mined as iron ore.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the content, judging by the color of it, the rusty color of it, the content of iron must be so high. So, you know, they probably obviously didn't use it for that, but all I'm saying, I'm sure it has a good percentage of iron ore.
Yeah.
But what they were after, as you can see, is this big seams of sandstone, the compacted, not this shaly stuff.
Yeah.
This is the overburden that they were digging over to get to the good stuff.
And this is the problem with this mine, this kind of very much like shaly stuff, which basically every so often will fall. So
yeah, it's crumbling away. It's obvious here. You can knock this with your head and it'll come down. Let's not. So, like I say, if you see any markers in yellow, there will be round circles with a cross and a number.
Yeah.
Because there were several teams. I think every team had a code like A, B, C, or D, and a number, which kind of good way to mark it, really.
Yeah.
And you're gonna find a lot of these collapses like this. You know, so we're kind of gonna get used to scrambling over. So we're gonna hit the first roadway here.
So that means ahead there must have been an adit out.
There was an original adit. We might see it today, we might not. It was a stone adit, so it was worked. It was a tunnel lined with an arch stonework, which is beautiful to see.
Yeah. So above us is what's called the head, and that's what we've got to be careful to look out for. But
this section,
any loose stuff.
these parallel sections here of roadways, but we're not going to bother with them today.
Any ideas and guesses why it's called the head?
The head.
Yeah.
What is called the head?
Why it's called
a
that?
head. A head basically is a stemple that goes across to support what's overhead.
Yeah.
That's called a head.
But
it's a very simple term. I don't know exactly why.
Because the miners kept banging their head.
They kept banging the head.
It's simply as that.
Yeah, the head. They can bang in the head. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, just watch here. Oh no, the blue string carries on. So we're gonna have a look at some of this stuff here.
In some mining terms, it's also called the back, and you can understand why it was called the back now as also.
Look at that, already there.
Wow.
That gives you an idea what we're into. So let's have a look at this. There's a really nice bit here that's letting water in. This silt is compacted, so we're all right.
Well, I'm all right. I think you've got it.
Look at this.
Really good.
There's all sorts of rubbish, and there's, as you can see, there's some daylight there.
Yeah. Red farmers got all this crap.
Yeah, generations of local quarry owners dumping all the stuff underground here. So and this is taking us in the direction of a westerly. This is taking us a westerly direction, so it's not taking us into the mine. We're sort of skirting around the edges, the outer edges of the mine. As you can see here already, the example of pillar and stone workings, they had to quarry the stone and leave some pillars for the obvious reason that otherwise they would collapse everything that's above them. And we hit here one main tramway.
It's one big tramway.
Where not the ore carts, where the carts loaded with stone, they would have run up and down.
And they're like proper stalls, aren't they? They actually look like, you know, in a sense, a physical stone that they've just gone into. And
yeah, look, that's a head. Obviously, they're trying to prevent, from the looks of it, obviously, further collapse from the roof. But a lot of's given way already, as we can see. A lot has fallen. A lot of these timbers, these head timbers, have fallen, and all the heavy weight of the rocks just put pressure on them till they break or till, you know, they rot away. It's in a really precarious state, this mine.
But if you look what the that wood stemple is onto, it's not as if it's onto anything, is it?
No. So
it's quite badly done.
Right. But this is an excellent example of one of the many roadways that we're going to be coming across. Because there's no way. I was saying, Richie, I don't want to be rushing here because there's no way we're going to be doing all this today. But it's just more about documenting, looking around, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
You can see here there would have been, obviously there's another parallel tramway there and another one behind the other set of columns, and the same that way. A series of parallel tunnels that they have to quarry out to get the stone. Pillar and stall. That's the term, pillar and stall.
So what's the reason why they call it that as well?
Right. This blue string is very useful, to be honest. So there's a few markers from explorers that there's E for exit. Whenever, funny enough, whenever you point an arrow, whenever you put an arrow in a mine, always point the exit, never point where the way in. But arrows are not advisable, but sometimes they are needed. I mean, look at the amount of collapse. Some of the areas that we have here, how badly collapsed. That they caved in, and here.
Antonio's head is an area which is poised on going.
Yeah, this is flaking away. There is a lot of this, and you wonder what's holding it. Sometimes just the side pressure of the stones pushing down, you know, is what's holding it. There is a lot of death on a stick, you could call it, around here. So here's another. Oh, this actually have a look at this roadway. Right, this is a kind of classic example, Richie, of what how miners utilized levels, or in this case, roadways that they were not in use, or they exhausted the stone or the mining. They backfill them. As simple as that. Why taking all the waste rock outside when you can just backfill, at disused level? And this is a clear example. This level, I mean, you stand there now, it's only like 6 foot, but this would have been 20 foot high. You get me?
But not only that, it added a great deal of stability as well. So.
Suppose it does, yeah, you can say that. Yeah, and a lot of cases, the waste rock, yeah, they pack wall it all the way to the top, to the roof, to act for support, as you say, add stability. I mean, but you can see here the iron colours are so intense, and that is beautiful, but it adds to the visual confusion of this place. Oh, a bit of a rusty rail there. To believe it or not, I once came down here on my own.
Antonio story time.
Antonio story time. Believe it or not, Richie, I came down here on my own once, because at some point years back, this underground quarry was my obsession. You literally just thinking about it more than I was thinking of anything else. Shall we say that? And I came down here one Saturday on my own, and the experience was very sobering, I can say, because your senses kind of become so intensified. It's like that fight, fly, or fright situation. It was kind of a fight in the sense that I could hear every single noise, and I was so present wherever I was walking here. It's not something that you can advise to anyone. You should never go on your own, really, for obvious reasons. If something happens to you, then you don't have anyone to get you out. If something happens to me now, then Richie follows the blue line, his way out, calls for help, and the other way around.
Go for your keys, and I take your car.
Yeah, and take my car home, thanks.
And your phone, and your wallet. No.
So yeah, do never go on your own when you go underground exploring, actually. But I'm just saying, I did once, and I could hear some creaking noises. Like I thought I heard one rock fall, and I don't think I would have heard it normally if I was exploring. It's just that intensified sensory experience that you get from the adrenaline kicking in, putting you in a state of survival underground. Yeah, it was quite an experience. So that's the way the blue line takes us to. So obviously more roadway, a long way, and we're going to sidestep here just to take a look. But obviously it becomes the same again. It becomes crisscross tunnels, workings there, going in every direction.
You can see why you'd get lost very easily in here.
Yeah.
Is that the road we came down?
That's the road we came down, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's always good to keep a sign on the markers, so we recognize the yellow one. Okay. Right, so here we have the hobnail footprints. Right, those are very distinctive, minus hobnail footprints. The sort of shape just gives it away straight away. Can you see the hobnails there?
Yeah.
Right, those little dots, they are on the minus sole. This is amazing, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
The minus soles, they have nails. you know, and the heads of the nails, obviously, we're pointing down to give them some grip. And this is, these little markers, this is what they are. These are actual miners' footprints from way over 100 years, because this mine, you know, it was abandoned just during the First World War or just after.
Yeah.
So that is quite incredible to see there. It's quite compacted, and I think that's what's preserved it. Because in other areas where you find these hobnail woodprints, the mud is very soft. So you tread over it, you spoil it. But this you know, compacted mud has actually preserved it really well.
Yeah. And it's almost starting that of being fossilized in that shape, as long as we don't have like kind of a whole lot of water or whatever and people walking on it all the time. Because I've seen ones in other mines, and it's almost actually physically turning to stone, as if like the aggregates or whatever.
Yeah, the kind of aggregates harden.
And they've made it like a cement kind of imprint.
Yeah.
So
that's quite outstanding, because I have seen them further in the mine, a bit more clear than that, but these are, you know, miners' hobnail footprints, definitely.
I think that's a little bit more
And
new.
yeah, there's some more new bits.
Yeah.
But you can see the older ones. Can you see? That's the heel of a hobnail footprint. That is the heel. And that is the front of the foot, you know. Awesome. We come into a very interesting area with water dripping through the ceiling and a water tank.
Right, okay.
So an old miner's water tank, and that's really cool to see. You got to see it.
Wow.
So let's go and have a look at it. It's interesting because the sound of water it becomes a marker.
Yeah.
In a way, because you know the areas where the water is. So once you hear the water, you know where you are. So it's not just visual clues that you can find in mine caves to know your way around. They're also, you know, other sensory clues, the sound of something in particular. In this case, the water. So the blue line becomes buried here, where the water sound is. Oh no, it's not. It carries on that way. So let's go and take a look at this. You're going to love this, man. Water tank and water percolating through the roof. Look at this. So let's start with this, man. You don't find this every day on the ground, do you?
No, we don't. My word! It's a jacuzzi size.
It's like a big giant on the ground jacuzzi, you could say.
Yeah. You think miners are into that?
Maybe.
That's amazing, that.
It's awesome, isn't it? And something else, if you follow me. Some barrels. Now I am guessing the barrels, were they used for water or they would have been used for something.
Rum.
Obviously.
Rum for the miners.
Yeah, rum. Alcohol for the miners, yeah. But in pretty good state, considering, you alright?
Yeah.
Considering they're 100 years old, these barrels, they're in pretty good nick, are they?
Yeah. Right.
Richie, just to get the perspective of, light the roof, light up, just to get the perspective of the size of this. There's a big crack there, and that has to do a lot with the water percolating through here. It's stunning.
See how small it is.
So, let's carry on. After seeing that amazing and gorgeous water tank, we're gonna get deeper.
I was just explaining as you were going up there.
Yeah.
That the blue rope and then it disappears and then it reappears here.
Yeah.
So it just shows that that was put there on flat ground and this is what's come down.
Yeah, it's got to be. There's no other explanation. So over time, that's what's collapsed over the blue rope. Quite a lot of material, actually.
So is this another roadway?
That's another roadway.
It's blocked up ahead.
Yeah,
you can tell they've blocked it up.
There's loads of roadways that they just have collapsed.
Well, that goes on quite a considerable way, that.
That would go over, yeah. So we're gonna check on the actual compass which way that goes. So northwest is in. That's way it's going to skirt around basically, right? And that way basically will take us in. Which way do we want? Let's stick to the blue line, okay?
Yeah, sure.
We're on a bit of a assessing out this area a bit first. There's so much to see anyway here. We're not going to be short of nice surprises with artifacts. Right. Okay. I think this blue line is just the through trip of the mine. Because there is a through trip. You know, I've done it before.
The guided blue rope kind of tour.
Hey?
The guided blue rope tour.
Yeah. Guided blue rope tour.
There you go, you've got a title.
Hey?
There you go, you've got a title.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Some big collapses there as well.
There's collapses everywhere. Oh wow, you can see sleepers. Right?
Yeah.
You can see the sleeper mark.
You can see the indentation of the sleeper marks very clearly there, as Richie pointed out, yeah. So that's where the rails would have been sat, and the minecart loaded with stone going up and down, pulled by horses back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. I'm sure I've never seen hoof prints. I've never noticed them anyway. So there's a lot of pipe in there. I would imagine would have been water or compressed air, maybe back in them times, possibly.
Now going across like that, there would you wouldn't call it a stemple, would you? Really, going across?
Stemple, yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A head or a stemple, yeah. Well, it is a stemple because it's a support.
Yeah.
So my big torch is gone, as in run out of battery, but however we got plenty of light in. Might not get all the depth that I wanted to for purpose of showing the extension of the driveways, but well, Richie's got a pretty good torch and he can be there just for perspective as well.
12 quid. How much did yours cost?
This hand one's £50.
No. The big one which is gone. How much did that cost?
The big one, £200. The Immerland, £200.
15 quid.
And it barely lasted an hour, so don't buy it. Well, that's my opinion. Go for Phoenix. That's going to be my next purchase or acquisition, shall we say.
You say it's Phoenix or Phoenix?
Phoenix.
I like you saying that because my son's called Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so this again is skirting around here and roadways going in the distance, as you can see.
So that's more towards the south, isn't it?
Yeah, we are skirting around the southern, just the southern part of the mine. We're not even in the deep northerly, sections. That could be left for another time,
What would be good is to actually show on the map kind of what we covered. Obviously, not removing the name off the map.
No, yeah, we're not going to show the name on the map, but we need to find a marker though.
Yeah.
So we need to keep an eye for any yellow markers, and then we'll know exactly, all right, we are here in this maze of workings. But they didn't full survey, the rescue team, they didn't full survey the mine.
EE.
EE.
In chalk.
Right, so that's a good sign. So that means we're going to find some markers somewhere around here.
Can you just imagine being 24 hours in this place?
Working 24 hours here. Oof.
No, I mean for the guys who got lost.
Oh, the guys that got lost, yeah.
24 hours, my
Total
word.
desperation and panic and, utter mental
Direct
breakdown.
Exit.
Direct exit. So, actually, I think this is actually taken through the whole, shall we say, through trip.
Yeah. So that's a very kind of direct end. There. That's not caving. They've done that.
That's run in basically.
Yeah.
So we're after the original adit or entrance to this place, which is a lovely stone arched level crafted by the miners, and I have been to it years ago. It's a matter of finding it again, really. So let's get our bearings. So we're going northeast, so south, southwest is the way back. Okay. But like we were saying about this mine, this intense shades of rust increase the visual confusion really, and walking over collapses you completely kind of lose the view of where you are. This is scaling off. But let's get our bearings. Right?
Yeah.
So went over the collapse and straight down, okay. That might be a possible way. Right, this is interesting, Richie. Do you know do you actually know that all this sandstone they were shallow rivers, river deltas, and here is the evidence of the fossil river deltas. You can see the ripples of water right here. Can you see? It's a fossil rippled shallow river delta, basically. That's what you can call it. And you can see the equivalent up there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah. Scalloping, we call it.
Yeah, they are like scallops, are they? Right, way there. We came from that way. We're looking.
Turn your light out and then just see if we see any natural light.
Oh wow! Hey,
Yeah, found it.
I've never been up here.
Yeah.
Right. Is the header? Have you left the head? Have you gone under the header there?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Just for reference, there's been one huge collapse here, but there's a big void chamber above it that I don't remember seeing.
Yeah.
Come through.
Yeah. Okay.
Do not touch anything overhead. Literally, it's flaking off. You can see here where it's detaching, and going under this, the last thing you want to do really is touching any of this mess. Keep low. Yeah, that's it. Round there, on there. Yeah, that's it. You're safe. You see what I mean? I don't remember this. I don't think I've ever been here. If I have. So let's have a look. It's a large section of roof that has basically come down in all these boulders, and no, it doesn't go on. However, it's quite a spectacular size cavern, this. Right, coming back down.
Okay. Sorry?
Which is the way back. Where is the sand direct exit out?